Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over 3 more subscribers' teams and give them some team advice. The way this works is we're going to do a quick overview of their team at first, and then we're going to put their team and my team advice side by side. Their team will be on the right, my team advice will be on the left. We're going to go over it kind of step by step so that each of the subscribers know how to improve their team. Some of the advice is going to be for the short term. Some of the advice is going to be for the long term. The 3 people that we are reviewing today is 5LITREAG, Katoon, as well as Jeimos. Let's get into it. The first team we're going to be going over today is 5Liters team. On the first line, he has Alexander Ovechkin, 94 overall style icon. Then at center, he has 95 style icon Austin Matthews. 94 team of the week, Connor McDavid on the first right wing. For the first defensive pair at lefty, he has Aaron Ekblad, dynamic duo. Then he has a team of the year, Victor Hedman on the right defense. For the second line, he has bronze icon Guy Lafleur, then 94 flashback Sidney Crosby, 93 overall, the 93 overall Jack Hughes from NHL 2030 Master Set Players, Jeff Petrie, Team of the Week 89 overall, Scott Niedermayer's 88 overall. Third line is going to be Mario Lemieux's past meets present 91, 94 Sean Couturier fantasy hockey, then 91 Wayne Gretzky, past meets present. Third defensive pair is John Carlson, Hut Halloween Master Set Player, Paul Coffey's bronze icon. The fourth liners are Nathan McKinnon's Winter National 92 overall, 91 overall Jerome McGinley franchise great. Then he has a team of the week Patrick Kane 89, 93 Fleury and Adam Wilcox are the 2 goaltenders. And then we have Brian Fiddler for his coach that gives you 3 distributor, making him have howitzer, speedster, light the lamp, thief, wingman, and workhorse for his player synergies. For his team synergies, he is distributor and spark. Overall, Leader has a very, very good team. Let's see what we can do to improve it. As stated in the introduction, his original team will be on the right. My team advice will be on the left. For the first line of forwards, it stays the exact same. Ovechkin, Matthews, McDavid. No reason to change it. Typically, I do try to change out Connor McDavid's, though. However, the better Connor McDavid's aren't really worth it, as well as this Connor McDavid is pretty much absolutely filthy. Very close to an endgame card. With the synergies activated that we have, he's 95.8. I don't think you can get much better. He has max speed, endurance, acceleration, agility. The bounce is only 93. His shot's almost max. Very good hands. Actually, his hands are max. 99 defensive awareness. There's not much more you can do to this Connor McDavid to make him any better. So there's really no reason to upgrade him to a different card because he's pretty much an endgame max card anyways. The first major change is going to be bringing this 94 flashback Dougie Hamilton to get you some balance in your first defensive pair because we're looking to activate balance as a third team synergy here for 5Liter. Gonna get rid of this Aaron Ekblad dynamic duo card. Very good defenseman, but I do think this Dougie Hamilton's a little bit better than the Ekblad is. Looking at it, the Dougie Hamilton 6'6", Ekblad 6'4". You're getting 95.25 adjusted overall compared to a 91.95. Dougie Hamilton is a little bit expensive, but I do think he's a very good defenseman. Very much close to an endgame defenseman, if not an endgame defenseman. We're going to keep Hedman there, obviously, as your right defense. He's untradeable, and he's probably going to end up being the best defenseman when the game's all said and done. Second line is going to be Guy Lafleur, bronze icon. Keep that the same. Sidney Crosby and Jack Hughes. Very good second line, very fast. Upgrade this Scott Niedermayer to silver icon. I think that just makes sense. Gives you 2 balance. We're going to bring in this Erik Karlsson 89 style icon. I do think he's a little bit expensive, but with Wingman, he becomes one of the best skating defensemen in the game at 97 acceleration, 93 speed. He has a pretty good shot, can really move the puck because his passing and puck control is max, 98 deking. Has good defensive awareness and stick checking. I'm not sure how expensive this card is. It's another card to bring in that has 2 balance that we do need to activate the balance synergy. For the third line, upgrade Mario Lemieux. Past meets present to a silver icon. I think this is very important. I do think this 94 Mario Lemieux might be the best card in the game. Looking at his attributes, he will have max speed at 99, 97 acceleration, 99 agility, max shot. He could play center if needed at 90 faceoffs, but I really do think he's fine the way he is. I know this says 94.5, but it's because he's hurting you on the fighting skills, aggression, and durability. The rest of the card's pretty nasty, and with the balance, you get 88 endurance. That hurts a little bit too, but his skating's good. His shot and his hands are max. I'd upgrade him before I upgrade the Gretzky, especially because Lemieux has better synergies. Couturier is going to stay here as the center. For the third defensive pair, we're going to bring in Chris Chelios, get rid of this John Carlson. Now, I do think that Carlson might be as good as Chelios, if not better on paper, but I think that Chelios plays way above his attributes, as I mentioned in numerous videos. Upgrade this Paul Coffey to the silver icon. That way we can make sure we keep Thief activated, as well as you get another distributor, which allows you to activate some balance by bringing in other guys. The fourth line is going to be McKinnon, Iginla, and then we're going to bring this Peter Forsberg for this Patrick Kane. We'll do a little bit side-by-side here, but I'm going to explain why you're bringing in this Forsberg. You need 2 more points for balance to complete balance, as well as he does have workhorse. Now, looking at the synergies when they're both side-by-side, we'll activate balance just so you get a true side-by-side. You'll get 94.15 adjusted overall and 91.91 for Kane. Looking at him side-by-side, Kane's a little bit better skater. His shot's slightly better. His hands are slightly better. However, Forsberg absolutely murders Kane when it comes to defense and checking category. And these are fourth liners. I understand that, yeah, Kane has a little more scoring potential. You got Iginla and McKinnon to score a bunch of goals for if you need it. This Forsberg's an excellent setup man, and he plays really, really well for me as his bronze icon. I'm assuming his silver icon's even better. I've been looking to get him. If you're going to make the Forsberg, don't buy his 87, upgrade him through Icon Collectibles. Just go buy him on the market. He's only like 300K, and I think he's worth every penny. Fleury's going to stay as your starting goaltender. Very, very good goaltender, this blockbuster version of him. And then we got Zachary Papousakis that I'd bring in here for this Adam Wilcox, because you do need to get 1 more balance point to activate it. Fiddler's going to stay your coach. What this does synergy-wise is you still have Howitzer, Speedster, Light the Lamp, Thief, Wingman, and Workhorse. You keep all your player synergies. We added balance, and you do have an extra point for distributor if you want to get rid of somebody with distributor, but the distributor cards are untradeable, essentially. It also means that you actually don't have to upgrade this Mario Lemieux if you don't want to right away, and you'll still have everything activated, as we will see here. So you could actually save this upgrade for last and keep your things. I just figured that he's such a good card that you might as well upgrade him, but you can still actually keep him down there without having to get that extra distributor and still have the distributor activated. And obviously Spark, I think this is the way to go. It's a little bit of a long-term plan. It's going to cost quite a bit of coins, but I do think this gives you a relatively endgame team. And even looking at it, if you don't upgrade the Lemieux right now, there's still 3 cards you can upgrade that gives you some upward mobility. There's going to be some better cards that come out as well. I do think solidifying your defense over here on the left side is huge, because even though this Petry's pretty decent, I mean, he's not as good as Erik Karlsson. He's not as good as Chris Chelios or Hamilton. None of these guys are better than the guys that I replace them with, that's for sure. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this review. 5-liter. If you want to talk to me in private more, maybe you don't like the Dougie Hamilton, you want a different guy with balance, by all means, we can talk it out in private. We'll be more than happy to help you. The second team we're going to be going over is Katoon. Katoon's team has Ovechkin, Koivu, and Cornwallis as his first forward line. That's a style icon, franchise great, and silver icon. Then you're looking at his first defensive pair is Kevin Shattenkirk, 88 overall blockbuster, with a 94 flashback Jake Gartner. Second line is going to be bronze icon Lafleur and Gretzky. Then Taylor Hall's 90 overall team of the week. Zach Redmond's blockbuster and Ryan Murray's 94 flashback make up the second defensive pair. Third line is going to be bronze icon Teemu Solani, silver icon Peter Stastny. Then we have the Zach Parise Winter National 92 overall with PK Subban's 85 style icon and Brian Marchment's free card that you got for doing some challenges. I think it's actually a very good free card. I do think that Joe Mullen was a better choice between the two, but I don't mind you picking this Marchment. The fourth liners are going to be Alex Nylander's Winter National, which was one of the Christmas gift options, Trevor Linden's 94 flashback 90 overall, and the franchise great Sidney Crosby 89. Antti Ranta is going to be your starting goaltender. Hut Prime card, 86 overall. Then Reese Prowl's going to be your backup goaltender here with Distributor and Spark. Brian Fiddler is the coach. What this does for your team is it gives you Gladiator, Speedster, and Workhorse as your player synergies. Then you have Distributor and Spark for your team synergies. Overall, I think it's a pretty good free-to-play team as it says right here. Let's see what we can do to improve this team. Original team's on the right. My team advice is on the left. The first line is going to say the exact same. Ovechkin, Koivu, Cornwallis, no need to change it, as well as the first defensive pair, Shattenkirk and Gartner. On the second line, we have bronze icon Lafleur, Gretzky, and then we have Taylor Hall going to say the exact same. Second defensive pairs where we have our first change. We're going to bring in John Klingberg, which allows you to activate shutdown and passing playmaker. Ryan Murray is going to say with the Klingberg. This John Klingberg is also a phenomenal card with some synergies activated here. He gets up to a 90.9 from an 88, so almost a 91, plus 3 overall here. 92 acceleration, 91 speed, 91 agility. He has 91 slap shot accuracy, 92 slap shot power. Body checking gets up to a 91 with 90 strength. His hands are phenomenal. As you can see, his passing and puck control gets max. Defensive awareness is 91. Stick checking is 95. 89 shot blocking with 89 discipline. Like this card a lot. And I think he's a good price for what you're getting out of him, especially with all the synergies activated. Third line is going to be Solani, Stastny, and Parise. We're going to upgrade this Solani to the silver icon. Honestly, I do think that this line probably shouldn't be your third line. The way these lines are looking, it could probably be your first line, if I'm being honest with you. Zach Redmond gets bumped down to the third defensive pair in place of this PK Subban. Now, I know you started working on Subban. I'd work him all the way up to the 95 if that's what you want to do. I didn't include that because that's very, very long term. I want to give you something a little bit of a short-term answer here to activate some more player synergies for your team and solidify your defense a little bit. I think these 3 guys playing on defense, well, these 6 guys in general need a little bit of an upgrade. And that's what the Klingberg does. Allows you to activate some more synergies to make them a little bit better as well. Because getting this shutdown on Gartner is pretty big for that card. Looking at the 4th line, we're going to get rid of this Trevor Linden, which should allow you to bring in Howie Morenz. Probably actually make coins off of this swap. Sidney Crosby goes to center. Nylander is going to stay on the left wing. Rantanen can be your goalie with Prowl. That's more than fine. Brian Fiddler will stay your coach. So we didn't do any super changes here. We kind of made it to where just a couple switches. I do think long term, you should definitely work on trying to upgrade Lafleur, Gretzky. I think you should try to replace Redmond. My big idea that I thought we could get away with is maybe bringing in the silver icon Joe Sakic or upgrading this Howie Morenz to have distributor and 2-passing playmaker. Allows you some flexibility. I've also mentioned that if you're started this PK Subban, I'd keep working on him. These are just suggestions like very long term. I want to give you a little bit more of a short-term fix to fix some of your defensive deficiencies, as well as the guy you should upgrade first, in my opinion, is Teemu Solani. I think you should get rid of this Trevor Linden while he has some value. But these are the subtle, slight changes that I would make to your team to make them just a little bit better for a free-to-play team. Katoon, message me in private. We can work out some more stuff. But by doing this, we activated Gladiator, Passing Playmaker, Speedster, Shutdown, and Workhorse. So we added the Shutdown and Passing Playmaker by just putting in this Klingberg for the Subban, as well as upgrading that Teemu Solani to give you a little bit more flexibility in the spark. I do think that you have some other options, but I didn't really know who you were too tied to when it came to these cards. On top of, I didn't want to do a big time overhaul on a free-to-play team. I would slowly work on upgrading your bronze icons, and as I mentioned, finish off that PK Subban, and if you're going to finish him off, then we can definitely give some ideas for that. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about your review. The last team we're going to be going over is Jeimos, and he has Alexander Ovechkin 89 style icon, the Sean Couturier Fantasy Hockey 90 overall, 94 style icon Austin Matthews, Zach Werenski, and Dennis Potvin's bronze icon as his first defensive pair. The second line is going to be bronze icon Solani, franchise great Sidney Crosby, silver icon Joe Sakic. Then he has Chris Chelios and Scott Niedermayer bronze icons. The third line is going to be Alex DeBrincat, Team of the Week 85 overall, bronze icon Daryl Sittler, Connor McDavid's base card 87, Noah Dobson 83 franchise great, then Brian Marchment's bold card. Fourth line is going to be Yari Curry's bronze icon with Guy Carbonneau. Fourth red ring is going to be Valerie Nichushkin. And then we have Ben Bishop's 94 flashback for your goaltender, and Benjamin Gaudreau as the backup with Brian Fiddler as the coach. What this does is you have Howitzer, Speedster, and Wingman activated, as well as Distributor and Spark. Let's see what we can do to improve this team. His original team will be on the right. His team review will be on the left. So for this team, we went very long-term, in my opinion, and allowed us to add balance because he already has the pieces for balance. They just need to be upgraded, essentially. So what we did here on the first line, we have Alexander Ovechkin getting all the way up to the 95 overall, because I'm assuming that's what he's working towards. Then we have the Austin Matthews 94 style icon with Wayne Gretzky's bronze icon that he told me he actually has on his bench, because he gave me like a whole list of cards. He has an inventory. Wayne Gretzky's one of them. So we're going to bring in Wayne Gretzky here on his right wing. We're going to upgrade the Chris Chelios, bring him to the first defensive pair as a silver icon. Zach Ferensky is going to come in here over to the first defensive pair. On a second line here, we have Teemu Selanne, bronze icon. Sean Couturier is going to get bumped down from the first line to the second line. Then we have Joe Sakic staying on the second right wing. What I will say about this Austin Matthews is because we have Thief activated, the 91 faceoffs is more than enough to make him a first line center. Just wanted to mention that. I should have mentioned when I went over the first line. On a second defensive pair, we have John Marino, and then we're going to upgrade this Scott Niedermayer's bronze icon to silver icon. The John Marino just fits in perfectly because he has balance and wingman. He only gets up to 87 speed, but that should be okay because of the Scott Niedermayer is going to be blazingly fast at 97 speed. So I think it's a pretty decent defensive pair, and it allows you to keep wingman activated for this Ovechkin, which allows him to get up to a 98 overall. On the third line, Yari Curry just swaps with the Brinket, so they just swap third and fourth line. The reason I do this is because the Curry with Beliveau and Forsberg I think works a little bit better than just having the Brinket, Sittler, and Cornwallier. We're going to bring in this Jean Beliveau. I believe he was in your inventory as well, if I'm not mistaken. And you just want to upgrade him to the silver icon version of himself. Then this Peter Forsberg, I would bring him in as well. And I know you had this Peter Forsberg in your inventory, 100%. Bring in his silver icon. I talked about the Peter Forsberg on the very first team. I think he's a phenomenal player. And I think this Jean Belivau's absolutely a beast too. I have both of their bronze icons and they do a lot of work for me. On the third defensive pair, we're going to get rid of Noah Dobson, and Marchment's going to have to go out as an untradeable. Dennis Potvin gets the bump down from the first defensive pair to the third defensive pair, and as well as we keep the wingman activated. We bring in this Justin Schultz. I've talked about him previously in some other reviews, but I think he's a phenomenal low budget card. Look, it's 86 overall. He plays up to a 90. With both the synergies activated, balance, distributor, and spark. Absolute beast. He's one of my best budget cards that you can find in the game, in my opinion. On the fourth line, we have the Brinket, as we've already mentioned. Daryl Sittler gets the bump from the third line to the fourth line. Guy Carbonneau goes back on the bench, as well as Valerie here. We're going to bring in Yvonne Cornwallier, which is part of your inventory as well. Ben Bishop and Papu is going to come in here for the goaltenders because we need him for balance. Gaudreau's going to be out. Papu in, as mentioned. Fiddler's going to stay your coach. What we've going on synergy-wise in this team advice is going to be Howitzer, Speedster, Thief, Wingman, and Workhorse activated. So you go from having no Workhorse activated to having Workhorse activating, finding the 4 Workhorse by picking up this Peter Forsberg and the Justin Schultz and having Ovechkin already. And like I said, that's huge because it gets the Ovechkin up to that 98 acceleration. We also activated Balance and Distributor and kept Spark. For this review, we went a little bit more long-term, but I do think this is a very good blueprint for a free-to-play type of team. I know Katoon had a free-to-play team, and I know this is labeled as a free team, but I think this is a little bit of a longer blueprint for a free team in the sense of it has a lot of silver icons, which are just going to take time to build. We did sell the Sidney Crosby, which is a pretty big piece to sell and get rid of. It'll get you some nice coins to be able to buy some icon collectibles, or at least some gold players term the icon collectibles. We got rid of the Noah Dobson, which I know he doesn't sell for too much, but he's still worth some coins, as well as I got rid of this Connor McDavid. And Connor McDavid right now is selling for like 80K, maybe a little bit less now, but because of the event that's going on. So we try to do some of these things to get these pieces out of there. Well, they're still worth coins to be able to build up some of this team. I do think this is 100% the way to go, though, when it comes to building up your team, especially free-to-play, if that's what you're looking into, just based on the fact that it's a lot of icons, and I do think the bronze and silver icons, as well as just bronze icons in general, are relatively free-to-play because of the simple fact that you can make them by just playing the game, getting gold players, and putting them into collections, and hopefully you get some of the better choices. There are videos out there on the channel already to know which is the best 85, 86, 87, 88 bronze icon, as well as some of the silver icons are starting to drop a lot in price, especially somebody like the Forsberg only being 300K is an absolute steal. Jeimos, let me know what you think about your review in the comments down below. You can also message me in private to discuss a little bit more. That's going to wrap up these 3 subscribers' team reviews. We went over 5LITREAG, Katoon, as well as Jeimos. I think we helped out all 3 of their teams, whether it was more of a short-term build or more of a long-term build. I really do think that the Katoon and the Jeimos reviews really show the difference between a short-term upgrade help very quickly as well as a long-term build for any of the free-to-play players. You can kind of take those ideas that were in both of those teams and kind of apply them to your team based on what you have. As you can see, well, here's a couple pieces that can make my team a lot better, as well as more of a long-term longevity type of move where you got to constantly build up silver icons. As you guys can see in the background here, my team is pretty much all untradables, all icons. So when I preach about icons, I play with them. It's not like I'm telling you go pick up these guys and I don't play with these guys. Most of my teams are all icon type players because they're free to play. You can just get them by gold players. I mean, I'm not a 100% free-to-play player, but I think they were the best method to build a team. I think they're the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about these 3 reviews. Maybe you guys saw some holes in my reviews that you thought that, hey, maybe if he goes with this advice or this player instead, he could make some subtle improvements compared to the suggestions that I did make. Not always perfect, and we're trying to build a positive community here that helps each other out. So in the comments down below, if you saw maybe a better fit for an upgrade than what I suggested, by all means, let them know. I'm sure they would appreciate it. If you want to have your team reviewed by me, it's 3 easy steps. First, you got to subscribe to the channel. 2, you have to join the Discord. The link is in the description down below, as well as all 3 of these steps. Then you have to submit your team, drop the URL into the proper channel that is labeled subscriber team URL channel. Really not that hard. Just drop the team in there. I'll add you to the queue. It's first come, first serve. So as long as you put your team's link in that channel, I will make sure that I add you to the queue. The queue is continually growing, so just be patient. I'm going to try to knock out these videos as quickly as possible. Obviously, as you guys know, I try to do about a video a day. Might up it to 2 a day if I can find the time to do so. And obviously, I love to do these reviews. I love to help you guys out. As always, I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with any of your friends that play NHL 21, especially if they need some team advice or a team review. We'll be more than happy to help them. You guys have a great day and be safe.